Hello, welcome back to the PoddiMouths podcast. I am Peyton Cubic, and this is where my dad and his friend Jon talk about random stuff in life or the things they found on the internet. I hope you enjoy listening to this episode as much as I did. Here they are now.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, my Batuski.
That's not even a thing.
Well, it's better than ass. I didn't want to say ass on the podcast.
Whatever. Hey, I was talking with a friend. And,
you have friends?
Well, yes. And it was about, he's a Midwesterner as well.
Okay.
No, I'm sure you thought it was about you.
I bet you think this song was about you, don't you?
Yeah, very nice. And who sang backup in that song?
Oh, I don't know. But
You have to listen to it then.
I do have I've got a musical bit of knowledge that I want to share with you in a minute. Yeah, but let's finish your story.
Well, I'll just be quick about it because we were talking about lakes.
Yes.
And which of the Midwest states, well, let's just take all the states. Which of the states in the Union has the most lakes?
That is a fantastic question. Most people,
even close.
Most people would say Minnesota.
No,
because
not smart people. No.
Well, that I'm kidding. I didn't say smart people. I said most people.
Okay. Yes.
Most people. Just look at our political climate right now, and you know that I'm not saying smart people.
Yes.
Then anyway, most people would say Minnesota because it is the land of 10,000 lakes, but there's really more like 15,000.
That's not true, but that's close.
It is
14,000 actually. No, it's
whatever.
In fact, it's like
15.
12.
You know what?
12,
A couple of lakes grew.
No.
All right.
Do the search.
They had children.
They had babies. Yeah.
They had babies.
It's actually like 12,000 if I'm not mistaken.
It is.
11,986.
Something like that. No, I think you were closer.
I searched it earlier.
Right. I think you were closer to 14,000. But anyway, it's neither here nor there. And sometimes, in some places you would actually consider things that they call a lake in Minnesota more like a pond somewhere
Doesn't matter. It all counts them all. Continue. Okay. What most people would say Minnesota, they'd be wrong. So go ahead.
They'd be wrong. I'm going to say, honestly, I don't know.
Not even close.
But
yeah,
I will admit that I don't know the answer. Yes. However, I do know it's not Minnesota.
That's correct. Well done. So you only got 49 to go.
Well, you said Upper Midwest, but I'm going to say Alaska.
Initially,
Alaska.
Alaska. Yes. Alaska is number one, not even close. Number 2 is Wisconsin.
And that I knew because
Wisconsin has 15,000 approximately lakes. Yeah. But Alaska blew me away. Alaska has 3 million lakes.
Well, if you think about it, just the landmass is so much bigger.
Yeah, but it's not. Well, if you took Wisconsin's landmass and multiplied it to Alaska's, which would be, I don't know, what is it? 20 times bigger, maybe?
Something like that.
3 million lakes? I had to check 2 or 3 sources.
If you overlay Alaska on the contiguous United States, it would.
It's like a third of the U.S.
More than that. I think it's almost like 2/3. Because I remember seeing. I am drinking, but I've seen the overlay, and I think if it's touching the top, which is Minnesota, and it goes all the way down to Texas. So it's that, and then wide. I don't think it touches the coast, but
but you can't.
Like Colorado.
You got to say it's a third because if you're talking just contiguous, it has to cover itself. So that's part of it.
Well, I thought contiguous. I don't think it's not. No, that's not part of the contiguous.
It is not. It is the lower 48. I think is what the actual call. You would count Canada, but you probably wouldn't. Okay, so we were talking early
Canada.
Before we got into this comic genius about your travel and what you were doing, and
we're talking about the Upper Midwest. So
we went there.
Dickinson.
Yeah, Dickinson. What?
North Dakota.
North Dakota.
Dickinson, North Dakota. Yeah.
What's it close to?
So, my dad.
Oh.
Yeah. So here's the plan. Let me lay this out.
Yeah,
for you.
Do it.
Peyton and I are going to take an end of summer trip. It's the week before she goes back to school.
Cool.
And we are going to fly up to Minneapolis, and there's a reason we've chosen it. I'm going to get into this because you can appreciate this. I've had conversations now with two of my upper Midwest friends about this because it pissed me off so much But so we're going to fly to Minneapolis, and I'm doing this, folks. I'm trying to do this as much of this on points and status as possible.
Oh, so you're not just spending money willy-nilly these days? Come on.
No. We're doing the austerity thing. So anyway,
well done.
We're flying up to Minneapolis, and we're doing that. Instead of going directly to my dad's, we're going to Minneapolis to visit my aunt. And my aunt has some stuff at the end of the week that she can't get out of. So that's why we're going there first.
Jail time?
So we're going to, jail time. Exactly. She's out on good behavior right now.
Well, that won't last.
No. Trust me, if you knew my aunt.
Yeah, you've talked to me about her. All right.
Good,
sorry.
She's a good Jewish woman, I tell you what.
All right.
Anyway, so we're going to fly up to Minneapolis, and I was going to rent a car, and we were going to spend a few days with her. And then I was going to take her to the town I was born in, Mora, Minnesota. We've talked about that on the podcast. From Mora, we were going to drive to one of the better lakes, not the Great Lakes. I notice I didn't say Great Lakes because I don't want it to be confused. We're not going up to Lake Superior.
Right.
We're going to Mille Lacs Lake, which is
Mille Lacs.
It's a great lake. It's
huge.
It's huge, and it's surrounded by some really beautiful. I know this might sound weird, but some really beautiful Native American reservations.
Yeah,
they've done a lot of great work up there,
and some terrific bars too,
and some terrific and casinos. I'm not taking Peyton to a casino. Don't worry.
Okay.
I'm going to drive up that way, and then we're going to cross over because really, what I want her to experience is where I grew up, and I spent a lot of time up there. Most families did, because when we say we're going to the lake, it's usually somewhere by Mille Lacs.
It roughly, just for reference, it's hour and a half from the cities,
roughly hour and a half, maybe a little north, closer to 2 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
It depends how fast you drive. Oh man, that's a terrible road though.
Well,
that the main drive up there, whatever it is, it's 2 lanes much of the way, or used to be. Well,
it depends on which one you're taking. So the one I'm taking her up on is Highway 65, and 65 is a 2-lane. Yeah. But they do have Highway 169, and that's a 4-lane. It's not a freeway, but it's 60 miles an hour, 60, 65 miles an hour.
Okay. A toll road or no?
No, it's not. Minnesota doesn't have. Not that I know of. I mean, they might have toll roads now. It's been so long since I've lived there. Anyway, so we're going to go up. We're going to go to Mora. Mora is about 60 miles or 60 minutes from the Minneapolis, and then Mille Lacs is probably another. I would say it's another 45 minutes to an hour past Mora.
Fair enough. Okay.
So we're going to go up there. We're going to go through Brainerd, and so I can show her Paul Bunyan. Because for those of you who don't know, Brainerd has a Paul Bunyan statue. It used to have, and I think it's still up there. I don't know, but it used to have a theme park with a talking Paul Bunyan. Spent a lot of time up there. I'm not taking her to the theme park.
How can we make it better? Let's have him talk.
Exactly. Well, so it freaked you out when you were a little kid, though, because your parents would go, and you go on your birthday. Your parents would go to the controller and tell them, "Hey, it's my kid's birthday." So Paul would say, "Oh, and happy birthday to Nick." It was crazy.
It'd be a lot funnier if he had a really high voice.
Yeah, it would.
Happy birthday, Nick.
That's Babe the Blue Ox.
Babe has a high voice.
And now I'm just imagining. I don't know. It wasn't a talking Blue Ox.
Could be.
That would just be so totally unreal if you had a talking blue ox. Come on.
Buddy Hackett told that story. He whipped the horse because he wanted it to go, and the dog is sitting next to him, and the horse turns around after he whipped him. He says, "That hurt." And he looked at the dog and he says, "I didn't know the horse could talk." And the dog said, "Neither did I."
Funny.
So,
yeah.
Okay.
Buddy Hackett. He's a good seagull.
He's dead, but he was an excellent seagull.
He was an excellent seagull. We're not going to talk about that because I want someone to put in the comments what we're talking about when referring to Buddy Hackett as a seagull.
Oh, everyone will know if you've ever had
children
or
I don't know. Let's find out.
Okay. All right,
without looking it up. You cannot look it up, folks. It has to be off the top of your head. Okay.
All right, fine.
So we're going to go there. Then we're going to drive across to Fargo. Mm-hmm. So your wife's stomping grounds, and I'm going to make sure she knows.
I'm not sure it's stomping. I think it was birthing grounds.
Birthing grounds, yeah. I'll make sure Peyton knows where she was born.
I wonder. I don't think she has a wing at the hospital. She might.
Not yet. Not yet. After we're done, after Peyton and I are done there, she will.
Oh, good. I meant
anyway,
Lisa, not Peyton.
Right. So
Okay,
we're going to stay
that's
there
fine.
because, by the time we get up there, we'll probably have spent a good 4 or 5 hours on the road. And Peyton doesn't she doesn't like to do the long road trip like I do.
Weird.
So we're going to probably stay in Fargo, and we might change our mind about this part. Probably stay in Fargo for the night and then drive the rest of the way to my dad's because that's about a 4-hour drive from there.
Awesome. Perfect.
And they'll go spend a couple of days with my dad and my stepmom, whose birthday is today. Happy birthday, Cheryl.
Oh, happy birthday.
And so here's what we started talking about before the podcast. So anytime we've gone up there, Peyton and I have flown, or Peyton, Jen and I, depending on who was going, would fly into Bismarck, North Dakota, which is in the center of North Dakota, and then drive to my dad's because that's the big city besides Fargo, but that's the big city there. Minot does have one, but that's even further away. So I always thought that's where you flew into and rent a car and drive to my dad's. It's about 3 hours, 2.5, 3 hours from Bismarck to my dad's. Then I found out by accident because I was looking for, I don't remember what I was doing, but I think I was looking for where I could return my rental car because I'm using National. That's what I have status on. I was using National. Where can I return my rental car? And then Dickinson came up. I'm like, where in Dickinson? Oh, and Dickinson, by the way, folks, is halfway between Bismarck and my dad. So it's only about an hour and a half from my dad. And I'm like, I can return my car. Where? So I look, and Dickinson has an airport. And United flies to Dickinson. And I'm all this time, I've been flying to Bismarck. And sorry, my phone is blowing up. Stop bothering me. So it was just mind-blowing. So I'm looking for tickets now to fly United back from Dickinson to Nashville, which isn't easy because I'm trying to do it on points again.
Is that one of is that the rubber band plane where you have to wind up the?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, okay.
Pretty much.
I'm sure it's a small one. I used to fly into Flint, Michigan, and it was either a turboprop or I think one time we were on the was it one seat on either side of the aisle?
Nice.
Come on. And obviously.
This one's a little bigger. This one's the 2-in-1. It's 2-in-1.
That's not bad.
No.
But that's probably the smallest United.
The smallest United airline. Yeah, they don't. I don't think they have turboprop. They might down in the Bahamas or something. But yeah, no, they have these little jets for regional. So we'll have to fly to Denver and then back to Nashville, which isn't a problem. It'll be nice. She likes Denver like I do. Anyway, so in all of this, here's the part that I think you're going to appreciate.
It's about time.
I know, right?
We have to
fill. I'm trying to fill the time of the podcast.
That's what we do. Yeah. Welcome to PoddiMouths. We fill time.
We fill time. If my story was short, it would be a very short podcast.
We would not. I have other stories.
Well, yeah, not good ones. Anyway.
They're better than. No, I'm just kidding. Not better than Fargo.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Better than Dickens. What is it? Dickinson. Okay. All right.
Not Dickinson. Dickinson. It is Dickens' son, but anyway.
Because I was going to get tickets. Thanks for clarifying that.
I know. Oh, okay. So I after I haven't booked that flight yet. I meant to do that today, but I probably won't until tomorrow. And
I remember prices.
I remember
did you check prices or no?
That's why we're talking about it now. I remember is because
it's miles.
So when I was signing on to here, I was having difficulty because I was trying to experiment with my VPN to see if I could get cheaper tickets. And so according to my VPN, I was in Greece. And I guess Riverside doesn't like the fact that I'm in Athens, Greece. So
got it.
It was, anyway.
I thought you were trying
I had to make
use
my
miles to go to Greece.
Yeah, no, I'm using miles to come back from Dickinson.
Which is the same as Greece.
I was going to say it's the Greece of North Dakota. So...
Is that what they call it?
They do now. Yeah. They will from now on. That's the new marketing.
Is that spelled GREASE? Not good. Not good. The Greece of North Dakota.
The Greece of North Dakota.
You can slide into town whenever you like that. Sort of a thing.
That's good.
We love eggs.
They should hire us. They should hire the PoddiMouths podcast to do all of their marketing for Dickinson, North Dakota.
I think their visitors bureau, they would really benefit
who needs
from that.
Medora? I mean, come on. Who's ever even heard of Medora, North Dakota?
Medora, I think Medora, isn't it?
Medora.
Isn't that like it's a liqueur, isn't it?
That's Medora.
Medora. Okay.
It's Midori. You're thinking
Midori.
The green
That's what
stuff.
it is.
Yeah,
I don't drink it. Yeah, it's scary.
Well, yeah, it is very scary.
Looking. That's okay. That's very cool.
Hold on. I got my rental car story because you're going to appreciate this. Those of you who are listening from the upper Midwest are really going to appreciate this.
Honestly, if you are still awake, you are going to appreciate
this.
Okay, go ahead.
So, I don't know if anyone knows this, but I'm a diehard, born and bred, bleed Minnesota person. I love Minnesota. If I had the opportunity to go back, I would go back. Except
anyone who's not a new listener knows that.
Right.
Yes.
Except I don't think I ever want to rent a car in Minnesota.
Well, buy one.
So here's
keep it at your dad's.
I could.
Or at the airport.
No, because there's the point. There's the point right there. So we're doing all this planning, trying to figure it out. Yeah. So we're going to fly in on a Saturday, and then we're going to do all that stuff, and then we're going to fly out either on a Friday or a Saturday. Mm-hmm. So I look for a rental car at a week, and I've got a few free rental days, but I'm going to be picking up in one spot, dropping off in another.
Oh, yeah, that's always a challenge.
It's always a little bit more of a challenge. It's always a little bit more expensive, and I knew that, but So I have 3 days. I have 3 days that I have set aside on my thing for free. So three free rental days, which is why I'm using National. So I look at the price, use my 3 rental days. I use a discount code to discount it a little bit. $580 for the week.
Okay. Well, that's not crazy, but that's
with
the drop off.
That's with the separate drop off, right? And I'm like, so I'm looking at different ways to try to make it less expensive because that I mean, it's still a pretty big chunk.
What kind of a vehicle?
Quite honestly, I can't afford right now. Just a rate. I mean, I have executive, so it doesn't matter. I just do
whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm trying all these different things to see if I can make it cheaper. I'm like, okay, what if I don't use my 3 days and I just pay for it and it jumped up to like $700 some and blah blah blah. And I'm just playing around with all these different scenarios, and I'm like, what if I can't do this because this is why I mentioned my aunt has to be the first part of the week. I can't change the plans, but what if, just out of curiosity, what if I flew into Dickinson and flew out of Minnesota? What would my rental car be if I picked it up in Dickinson instead?
Oh gosh.
Same parameters, same time frame, everything. Just reversed the drop off pickup.
Yeah.
$200 cheaper.
What?
Yeah.
Now, of course, the question becomes, and this, I'm going to take a look at both sides of these things. Well, yes, got it, full size, but when you get to the smaller airports, and I know this from experience, sometimes it's usually you get a better car, a better vehicle, or at least bigger. And
especially if you have status.
Well, yes, but it's not. I mean, it's never the pick from this line of cars. It's, hey, hold on just a second. Bob just got in this Escalade. And, you might know something like that.
Right. We talked about that last week with the smaller airports.
But
what it was is Minnesota has a whole bunch of wheel taxes and not a drop fee. No, that was, I don't even know if the drop fee was in there because I didn't mention it, but it has a whole bunch of different taxes, including a registration fee, including, as our buddy Matt mentioned, because he flies into the Minnesota airport or the Minneapolis airport all the time.
Delta for him,
No, I don't know for sure. I think it's United or Southwest.
Oh, okay.
Anyway.
Okay, never mind.
But there's also an airport fee for the car.
Yep.
And I'm just like, I have not been, and I have flown to a lot of different cities, and I have never experienced, because I broke it down. You could drop it down and see what taxes you're being charged. And there were 8 different fees and taxes on there. And I'm like, are you effing kidding me?
It's such a joke. It really is.
Such a joke.
Yeah.
And it was worth $200 more. I could not believe it.
So can you reverse your trip like that? Or are you thinking about it?
No, I can't. Unfortunately, can't do that. But
then maybe you can, because of your aunt's going to jail thing.
Yeah.
Can you maybe get her to float you a couple $100 to pay?
No,
it's her fault.
No, well, yeah, exactly. It is. Good point. No. What I'm actually going to do, just to say, this is all about, folks. This is all about just trying to save money. So it's not a big deal. I'll do it if I need to do it.
I love the challenge to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's really cool. Yeah.
So because really, honestly, we'd pick up the car on Saturday, drive it to her house, and then park it for 3 days.
Yeah.
So I called her today and I said, if this works for you, would you pick me up at the airport, or pick us up at the airport, and then drop us off back at the airport when we're ready to rent the car?
Or is there another place by her?
There isn't. I looked.
Oh.
No,
I like how we think. I like how we think anyway.
Now I haven't looked yet, but I think my rental night, or my free rentals transfer, because remember, Enterprise owns National, and I think they transfer over. Well, so I might go to an Enterprise, which there's a bunch of Enterprises outside of the airport.
For most of them, it's Enterprise, National, and Alamo now these days. And oh my gosh. And you think, oh, well, cool. You get the downside is whatever people are renting, they're in your line if you have to wait in line, which I told you about last week. But it's kind of a cool situation, because you're right. Enterprise has most of the locations that are off airport.
Right.
And we've used the one a mile and a half away from here for the occasions where we needed an extra vehicle. Now we don't, of course, because we bought the extra vehicle. But yeah, we talk about convenient, and they're awesome. And they're like, hey, John, we got you. And, what do you want?
Yeah.
And so, that might be if you can do that, that's a thing.
The only thing I also have to check is if I can drop it off in Dickinson, or do I need to fly into Bismarck? So that's the other side of it.
Does Enterprise have a location?
I don't know. I know National does. I don't know if Enterprise does. I'm still doing the research.
And they may do a handshake too, if since one owns the other. So
right, maybe,
cool.
Maybe, yeah.
But so that's cool.
It's a challenge,
fun. But it is. But I don't know about. Yeah, I do know about you, but I enjoy that. Where and I always get props from Lisa for. If John can. I mean, you could book anything, and because there are so many parameters that you can modify, and I know you're the same way. Look at the stuff that makes the most sense, knowing that you have points, or you have miles, or you have opportunities depending upon your status to save some money. So
also I will admit that I'm trying to go a little bit higher. So I think I already said that I'm flying to Minneapolis on Southwest, which how much I love Southwest.
Okay, cool.
Okay. So we're flying on Southwest.
But wait a minute. But United does Southwest fly into Dickinson?
Does not.
That's so you got to do United.
The only airline that flies out of Dickinson is United.
Or drive the extra miles.
Or drive the extra miles, right? So anyway, so we're flying Southwest to Minnesota, because I have enough points for two of us to fly. Okay. And instead of just doing the basic getaway economy stuff, I did the full. Peyton and I are in a 1 through 15. I'm like, I got enough points to do that.
Oh, well,
my plan was, So I'm making it.
That's the only way I'll do that,
fun,
by the way.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
But the same with United. So I'm trying to get us in first class. I'm not trying. I could easily get us into. But I want
it was a
special
fun experience.
Exactly.
For her. Yeah, exactly.
So I'm trying to get us into first class, but the problem is I don't have quite enough points for first class.
Oh, that's funny. Okay.
So here's the thing. The other part of it. Hold on. So the thing.
No, I'm way ahead of you. Come on.
No, you're not.
Yes.
So what I'm trying to do, because I have my United connected to my Marriott, and I still have a lot of points on Marriott, but not quite enough, because it used to be 1-to-1. And it is, if I transfer the points from United to Marriott, it's 1-to-1. But if you transfer your points from Marriott to United, it's 3 Marriott points for every 1 United point. Yeah.
Not good.
Yeah. So, So I will have enough. The problem is it hasn't entered my account yet. So I don't have enough points right now, because I just burned them all last week in Bristol.
Yes.
So I only have a set amount, but of course I've stayed at like 3 different hotels since then, and I'm still waiting for those to load in my Marriott account so I can transfer them over to my United account. And it's just a game. It's a game.
Of course it is. I remember the days, and no kidding. I was at one point I had 800,000 Marriott points. Well, but what was even better was that you could spend them at a much higher rate, or you used fewer points to get nicer things.
Right.
Lisa and I did, and I know I've told you this, but Lisa and I did our 25th anniversary, so it was a while ago, in Hawaii, and we're at the Marriott Resort, and it's awesome. We're there for 8 nights. We are in a double upgraded suite overlooking the ocean.
Nice.
And we got there and we're like, so I'm using points. And one of the guys who took our bags said, do you know that 85% of the people staying here are on points? I said,
that's hilarious.
No idea. But
it makes sense.
Well, of course. Where are you gonna make sure you use your points?
Right.
Anyhow, but that was 280,000 points for
that's not
both of us
not
for
horrible.
that.
That's actually really good.
It's a steal, and today that same thing would cost 700,000 probably.
Yeah,
that's how much they have changed the point values. But
when we did Disney,
I was trying to get close to 1 million at one point, and that.
Well, you were close.
Well, I was close, but I was trying to get to 1 million. Is what I'm trying to say, and never did because we always spent them. So yeah.
Well,
use them. So use the points for Pete's sake.
When we went to Disney for the whole week, it was 350,000 points for 3 of us. It was not, and it was an upgraded room.
Excuse me. Wasn't?
It was. We didn't have a parking lot view, so that was
like.
Good.
Is it? Are they the Dolphin? Are those
Dolphin? Yeah,
Marriott. Those are great hotels.
They're nice.
Yeah.
And then so Bristol was just Jen and I at a portfolio hotel for a week, and upgraded to a junior suite.
Autograph or portfolio?
I'm sorry, it was autograph.
I just wanted to make sure.
But that was only 250,000 points.
Okay. Wow.
So it wasn't bad.
That's pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good. So anyway, that's the game I'm playing right now, and I'm trying to figure that out.
It's a fun game.
It is and it isn't, because it pisses me off that,
Yes, but given what you know, and given with the travel and everything, it's kind of it's like a game to see where I can do this versus that, and how can I, and it's not, it's about the money, especially these days, truly, but even if it's not, even if it's something where you kind of go, man, I'm going to splurge, but I still want to save some money and feel like I'm getting a good deal.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, but it's great. That's exciting for Peyton, and I'm sure how long since she's seen your dad?
It's about 2 years. We try to do it every 2 years.
Awesome.
I know that doesn't sound like a lot. Most people, we see Jen's family, for example, we see them several times a year.
Sure, but they're closer, and it's a lot easier to get there. Yeah. You should get there.
And my aunt wanted to come down here instead, but we just, because of studio stuff.
Forget it. Oh, sorry.
No, we pretty much did. No, the studio stuff is all over here, and so the guest room right now, the bed is folded up and the mattress is against the wall, and it's being used as storage.
Yeah, well,
I took a picture and sent it to my aunt, and I said, "Sorry,
funny. Here's your room.
Here's your room. Yeah. Exactly.
I think you're gonna like it."
And I'm not putting you up in a hotel again.
That's funny.
She's a good Jewish mother, because the last time she came down, the air conditioner just happened to go out the day she was traveling. So it wasn't like, hey, hold off on your travel. It was, shit, the air conditioning is out. So when she got here, I actually put her up in a hotel for a night while they were fixing the air. So I said, it's horrible in the house right now.
Yeah.
Especially on the second floor where all the bedrooms are.
Oh my gosh.
And it was the middle of summer in Tennessee. It's a shit. It's shitty.
Well,
it's
you poor thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway.
So, but she was pissed. She of course enjoyed the hotel because it was downtown Nashville, but she was like, don't know. I would have stayed.
Was it a Baymont?
No, it was
I'm just kidding.
I'm trying to think. It wasn't a Fairfield. What's the other? Not the Fairfield. The one I usually stay
Courtyard.
At. No.
Fairfield Courtyard,
No.
Town Place.
No.
The other one is
closer.
Yeah, the other one is the.
God, I always stay there too.
Me too, and I like them.
Yeah, it's my favorite one.
The home.
Too. That's the
what's the home?
Not Home Place.
No,
that's Hilton.
Oh yes, Town Place, Town Place, and Home Slice.
Town Place is the same as Residence Inn.
No, it's not. It's different.
It has a kitchen.
Right, but so does
this one. Doesn't have a kitchen.
Spring Hill.
Has
a kitchen.
Has a kitchen. No, it doesn't. Nope. Spring Hill does not have a kitchen. Good. Look it up. Spring Hill is Spring Hill is the one that has the desk. That's the divider between the living room and where the bed is.
But I always had a mini kitchen in the Spring Hill.
I never had a mini kitchen in a Spring Hill.
Well, you probably weren't my status. Anyway,
fuck you very much.
You are look. I told my pastor to watch our podcast, and so he may be watching.
That?
And because
why would you do that?
Because I wanted to see if I could clean you up. Anyway,
that ain't gonna happen. Peyton already said I should stop swearing so much, and I said I work in the car business. The only people that swear, and the only people that swear more are Navy people.
That's a good point. Although I'm not sure there's ever been a real contest. I think
that's true. Well, a lot of people I work with in the car business are from the Navy, so it just kind of fits.
That explains the tattoos.
Yeah.
Speaking of the car business, I saw something interesting on
a car.
Did you ever check Jalopnik?
Yes.
Okay, so they lean a little left of center, let's just say, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you know that going in and they don't hide that, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
It's the ones who pretend that they're right down the middle and they're
down the middle.
They're not really,
and they don't listen to arguments. Yeah, that piss me off.
Correct.
Go ahead.
So they had scored an article that said there are now today it's actually 2.96, 3 million cars on dealer lots right now.
Ouch.
Compared to last year at this time, it was 1.96 million, so 2 million. So it's again a third higher than it was last year. And the thing they didn't address, and this is why I say the left of center thing, was what percentage are EVs? That's what I want to know.
Oh, I was going to say, do you know the answer to that? But
I don't, and it's just because I looked just before we got here. And so, audience, check it out if you are interested in that. Because I would like to know that. I think that would be that's a fair question. And what's your experience?
Well, I was going to say the particular OEM that I tend to do a lot of work for.
Which we can't say.
And I'm not going to say. But they
Rivian?
They do have an electric vehicle.
Rivian.
And they have, let's just say, a very aggressive lease on that particular vehicle. A very aggressive lease.
Great. I'm talking about inventory. I don't really care.
No,
about
I know, but they're doing. No, they're doing that. I don't know. That's a great question. Well, let me just put it this way. I'm considering looking at one of those because I've talked about the Jeep versus the mid-sized truck and stuff like that, and what Jen doesn't like to drive, both of them.
Is she warming up at all to either?
No,
not even a little.
Not even a little.
See, because and just as an aside, Lisa actually warmed up a bit to the Ford, to the F-150, because she liked the sitting up higher. And I mean, we talked about that with Jen too. That sitting up higher maybe is a benefit. But now, now that she's back in a car, she's like, "I'm never driving the truck again." Just because. It's funny because a lot of the roads in the residential areas near us are narrow. They don't have the wide curbed areas because it's Florida. It's kind of in the country. And people buy lots. There are some, but most of these areas are not subdivisions. People buy lots, onesie, twosie, and because that's how people own them. And so they'll buy the lots and then they just build their houses and off you go. So the streets are narrow. And on trash day, you've got the bins right near the street.
Yeah.
And so Lisa's driving the F-150. She's like, boom, boom, boom. I mean, that's what she's envisioning. She's never done it.
I understand that.
Honestly,
I understand that.
she is a good driver, and she is, an excellent, much better than
She's much
most
better
people I know.
She's a much better driver.
Well,
I'm a really good
there
driver.
are two people I could fall asleep with when I'm in the car and riding along. She's one of them. And so I
definitely not me.
No, gosh, no. I'm scared to death when you're driving.
Yeah.
You and I haven't ridden together much.
Only once.
I don't know.
Only once. That was the podcast thing that we did. Yeah, that was. But you know what? See, Jen doesn't think I'm necessarily a good driver, but at the same time, knock on wood, yes. I have never gotten in an accident.
Yeah. See, so I was driving. Just real quick. I was on a gig in L.A. And I was with two other presenters, and we were driving from one location to the other. And one guy is a professional driver, a race driver.
Okay.
And I'm driving everywhere, and he's going, you're a terrible driver. I'm nervous all the time when I'm with you. I said, have we had any troubles? Have we gotten any? Have I ever missed an entrance? And no. And I said, I haven't been in an accident in 40, 50 years. And he goes, so you're due. And I go, shut up. I mean, yeah, right. I need some sort of a track record like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my.
And you got into an accident 30 seconds later?
No, hell no. I have never been in it. I
knock on wood. Quick, knock on wood.
I'm not scared. I was in an accident in Wisconsin driving a demo. This will tell you how long ago. A 1981 Oldsmobile Omega. It was
let's be fair. In 1981, you were what, 20 years old? 18 years old? Something like that?
Thanks for saying that. No,
You're
I was
welcome.
much older.
No, you were 20 years old. That's where we're going to...
21, probably. Yeah,
so it was close.
Anyway, but yes, and it was snowing, and these were road tires. Back then, they had no grip, because it was a hot rod Omega, if there was such a thing. And I went down a hill and locked up the brakes, and nothing. There's skidding. And I put it in neutral even, which is what you're supposed to do to slow down. And I knew that. And I still hit the side of a city bus.
It happens.
That was honestly 40 years ago. And I really have not had any, other than spinning off a road in Michigan and ending up in the ditch.
I'm going to make you feel a little bit older. That was like almost 45 years ago.
Shut up. It was not.
I did. So, okay. I got in an accident once. I was backing out of the garage when I was like 18 years old. 17 years old, backing out of the garage, and I took my mirror off.
Okay.
So, I mean, major accident.
Well, was it the right mirror or the left mirror?
It was the left mirror. I was backing out. I was not looking at the mirror. I was looking at the wrong mirror. Trying not to hit my mom's Miata. Okay.
Well, that's good. Did you hit the Miata?
No, I hit the side of the garage.
Then it's a win. So well done. Really well done.
Thank you very much.
So I want to know what percentage of the vehicles on dealer lots are EVs. And I only say that because it's been a mandate. And that's the thing about the whole EV thing. It's not that I don't think they're, because honestly, I think they're awesome. There are so many of them that are
incredible.
Do you know the new Porsche? Did some other homework. The new Porsche, I think it's the GTS, the hybrid.
Yeah.
$166,895, by the way, is incredibly fast.
Yeah.
And you know what? You cannot replicate that sort of performance with an ICE engine. You can't.
No.
And so it's great to try. And I've seen some fast internal combustion engines on drag strips. And you can find it all on YouTube. But pound for pound and dollar for dollar, the fastest car I've seen is the Plaid.
Yeah.
And
the Tesla for those
Plaid.
Of you who did.
Oh my gosh. It's incredibly. Yeah. It's a 9-second car, the quarter mile.
So when I was researching whether or not I wanted to buy the 4xe, the Jeep, the Wrangler, I was watching a guy who actually took the 4xe to a drag strip when they had open drag. And so he did strip some stuff out. So he took the back seat out.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Excuse me. And now the way the system in the Wrangler works, the 4xe system. So the battery is in the center. And I was actually talking to somebody about this week. The 4xe Wrangler is a very smooth ride. And I think part of what you were saying too, when you're talking about the incredible ride and the incredible cars, is because they're so heavy and the batteries are so low to the ground, your center of gravity is a lot lower, and it's usually center because the batteries are in the middle.
Yep.
So you have a very smooth, very nice ride. Very
well, and the Wrangler
ride.
4-door has a longer wheelbase than the 2-door used to, obviously.
But, and they don't have a 4xe and a 2-door, so you don't have any comparison there. But
do they have a 4xe in the what's the pickup? Dang it! Why can't I think of it?
No, not yet. They will. They're planning on it. I think
they should.
2025 or 2026 is when that's going to come out.
Renegade. That's the other thing.
No. That's a
Gladiator. The Renegade. Gladiator. Damn, what's the Renegade? Oh, it's
Renegade is the POS little.
Okay, yeah. It's a crappy one. It's a Gladiator.
It's the little one.
That has even a longer wheelbase. Probably a foot longer than the 4-door.
About that. Yeah,
huge difference in ride quality. Okay, sorry.
Oh yeah. Go ahead. Anyway, so this guy takes it out to the track, strips out the back, and he was beating everybody. He was beating everyone up until a Tesla.
Yeah.
In a Wrangler. I mean, this is a brick on wheels.
Yeah.
It's a brick on wheels. Now, what I meant with the system, the way the system works is doesn't matter what you choose. So it gives you 3 options. You can choose to prioritize. It's hybrid, which the Jeep itself will pick which one is the best for when it comes to mileage and performance. You can pick all battery, but it's not really all battery. It's prioritizing the battery. Okay. Or you can prioritize the engine. Cool. But the battery is still turning up to about 5%. So if you had 100% battery, you can't actually recharge up to 100% when you're driving, only when you plug in, because it'll still use that 5% and it'll still use the battery to turn the wheels sometimes. But anyway, so he turned it to prioritize the battery. But if you stomp on it, you're still going to get the ICE engine to pop on. But what happens is you're spinning both. You're getting the torque and the pull from the 4-cylinder turbo, but you're also getting the electric motors going at the same time.
At the wheels. Yeah.
At the wheels. Yeah. So, I mean, you've got a lot of power, I mean, off the ground, off the start, the 4xe will even beat the 392 off the start. Now, the 392 over a quarter mile.
What is the 392?
392 is the 6-cylinder, the 8-cylinder.
The Hemi?
Version. Yeah, the Hemi. Yeah. Okay. So they make a Wrangler 392. Well, they were going to, this year was supposed to be the last 392, but they're bringing it back next year. So
funny how that works.
I know, right?
I bet they're not sitting on the lot.
The $110,000 Jeep. Why not? Come on.
Wow. So you say that, and that is crazy. However, this was what got me looking at the Porsche GTS was looking at the base 911 Carrera. And I saw this on Motor Trend. It's a base, quote unquote, 911 Carrera, not available with a manual transmission anymore.
No, not anymore, because it's actually better with a automatic.
Better, higher performing, but look,
faster.
But if you're somebody who likes a manual transmission, like me, if I'm going to get a car like that, that's kind of what I want. Even because I'm not looking for 0 to 60 time.
Exactly. That's the
point. But I want to control that. And
there are not enough people that are like you and like me,
of course,
for them to justify doing it.
I get that. So
because most people want to go the fastest they possibly can, and if they do that, they can't have a manual transmission because they can't shift gears fast enough anymore.
Understood.
To keep up with the motor.
Understood. So guess now at the base 911 Carrera MSRP $
98,000.
122.
Jeez.
I know.
Wow.
And so they're complaining about it in Motor Trend. It's a 3-liter twin turbo. So that's fine, but it's it's 388 horsepower. It's a flat 6.
No, that's
388.
That's it. That's not much.
So here's the Corvette now that you can buy for $50,000 less.
Yeah.
And it's a 485 horsepower base Corvette base.
Yeah.
It's just, and it's a different car. I get it. It's not a Porsche, and I don't mean to say that, but some of the new Ferraris. Which would you rather have? But I saw the average Porsche owner guess the annual income of the average Porsche owner?
I would say it's over 500,000.
600,000. Very good. And the average 911 owner? 800,000. And I'm like, dude, have at it.
Yeah.
It's not the first car. It's
No.
not even the second car. It's probably the fourth or fifth in the family. And
it's something you tend to keep in the garage. And let's face it, they're all going to lose value, but most of them, they keep it. They drive it once in a while. They might take it to the track, but they're not going to put 100,000 miles on it.
No, but
they might not even going to put 20,000 miles.
They're still going to lose a whole boatload.
Oh yeah, but if they keep it, I mean, I'm seeing people that, and this is way back. I've seen one owner, 356s, Porsche 356.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I've seen one owner 356s come up for auction, and the person bought it for like
really
$15,000 back in the 60s.
One owner, and they're selling it for $250,000. Oh, wow! They'll
get everything. No, that's what the auction is going for. These are auctions.
That's crazy.
John, bring a trailer. Bring a trailer.
Yeah, I know. I've seen it. I've been there. It's crazy to me that would you even ask that much, and B, would you get it? It's just crazy.
They get it. They get it.
I would rather spend $200,000 on a Dave Kindig car that's essentially a brand new car that looks like it's 40 years old or 60 years old. Because those are safer and they perform. I get the times better.
Thing. But here's the thing though, with a lot of those older cars.
Yep.
If I want one, I love those. That's probably my favorite Porsche.
Yeah.
Is the 350.
It's a beautiful car.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Amazing car.
I like 911s and I like 912s.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't know what a 912 is, it's basically a stripped out 911.
Yeah.
It's the base, super sub base of a 911. But I'm talking like from the 60s and 70s.
Sure.
Maybe even scoot into the early 80s. Those are my favorite Porsches.
Yeah.
I would own one. I'd own several of them. And they would be in the garage and they would be sitting there mostly until the weather was absolutely perfect, like 75 degrees, no humidity. Take it out for like 35, 40 minutes and then put it back in, rub it down with a diaper and, make sure everything works.
Well, look, Jay Leno, it sounds like you already have your plans made for that.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is no matter what if I buy a classic car like that, it's not something I'm going to drive very often. It's something I'm going to look at.
But here's the thing.
It's a piece of art.
I got it. If you have multiples, though, how do you decide what to drive? That's Leno's biggest challenge. It's got to be.
I bet. Well, I'm not. I don't ever want to be a Leno with what? How many cars does he have now?
I'd like to. Probably.
Well, I mean, I'm not talking about the money. The money is one thing. I'm talking about the amount of cars.
Well, yeah, just give me the money. You're right. I don't want the cars. Just give me the damn money.
Give me a 356, one 911, one 912, a CJ5, a CJ7. A TJ and a JL and a couple of Mercedes, and I'm good.
Yeah, no Escalades. You are a pig.
No Escalades. I don't need an Escalade. I hate Escalades.
No, but you want one.
I would. No. I would take a GMC.
I like Denali's. I like them.
Yeah, I would take a Denali over. I don't like.
Well, why?
I honestly
over an
don't
Escalade?
like
it's the same vehicle.
No, it's not.
It's
I mean, it is when you're looking at it and when you're sitting in it.
Yeah.
But the drivetrain and the motor and the suspension is all different. Cadillac actually builds their Escalades on an air suspension.
An air suspension? You mean bags?
Yeah, airbags. And I don't like the way I feel like when you're driving, it does this. It just kind of you feel like you're doing this the whole time. As long as I can set it down on the ground. Firm.
As long as I can set it down to the ground when I'm done, I'm good.
See, I'd rather have a little bit. I like it a little bit tighter. That's what I like off-road vehicles. I love my Jeep. I love my mid-sized truck. They drive because it is an off-road package. Yep. I like feeling the road, and I don't like the Escalades. I don't feel like I'm feeling the road. The GMC, I feel like I'm feeling a little bit more.
Yeah, it's interesting. I haven't driven enough to even make a call on that, which is fine because I'm not in the Escalade price range.
Right.
I'm in the F-150 price range.
Not even for me.
Whatever. You could afford mine. The payments.
Are you selling it?
Oh, you'd be messed up with the payments.
Well, we talked about this off, and I won't give it away, but I looked at, when I bought the mid-size truck, I was looking at a full-size truck.
Yep.
I could not justify. Now that I couldn't afford, I couldn't justify.
It's just the new versus the used. I'm not buying. If I'm gonna go new, and this has been my mantra for a long time, I'm gonna lease. Yeah. And if I'm gonna go used, or if I'm gonna have something to own, I'm buying pre-owned always.
Yeah. No, that's pretty much how I handle it too.
It's a crapshoot no matter what. Yep. It's all machinery, and some are going to be good and some aren't. But you try to mitigate, the problems you're going to have by looking at one owner cars and looking for things that are well cared for. Right. Not easy to find. So be patient, ladies and gentlemen.
Got to be very patient.
Yeah.
Very patient.
Good hanging with you today. This has been fun. We
never even talked about our cocktails. Did you even finish your cocktail? I've been nursing mine.
No, mine's mostly water now, but that's fine.
Mine's not. I didn't put ice in there.
You have some olives to hammer down there, Spanky.
Mm-hmm. It's dinner. So last week on the podcast, we talked about our visit to the distillery. Yes. So today I'm drinking their gin.
That's awesome.
Where is it? There's it.
It is Secession.
Secession. Yeah. It's a Tennessee gin.
And
it's very good.
Just real quickly, just to give props, my buddy Matt, talked. He got a vodka at a distillery, and I want to say it was in Tennessee. Okay. And it was a penitentiary.
Why didn't he come visit me?
It was a penitentiary. He actually talked about it.
I've had that. I've had that before.
So you know where it is.
Yeah.
And I can't think of the name of it, but he said it was the coolest thing. And you pull up, and it's a pen surrounded by gates and barbed wire.
Yep. I have a funny feeling. So Peyton's middle school, which she's not going to obviously next year because she's going to high school. So scary.
Well, she's going to be awesome.
Her old middle school, you had to pass the old prison here in Nashville, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful prison. All of you, if you have seen Shawshank Redemption, you've actually seen the prison.
Yes,
because they used 3 different prisons all over the country in different parts of the country for Shawshank Redemption, and some of the exterior shots were actually done at this prison. So most of you have probably seen, if you've seen the movie, this prison. It's gorgeous. I mean, it's Gothic. It's a beautiful building.
As prisons go, it's beautiful.
As prisons go, exactly.
If you have to choose a prison, choose that one.
That's right. Yeah. Okay. No one goes there. I mean, people that are trying to look at the haunted side of things and sneak into a building that they're not supposed to be in, they go there. But this building, this prison, the last week I was taking Peyton to school, and she was asking questions about it, and I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, it's abandoned. No one's doing anything. I don't know what they're going to do with it. And then I actually went to. The prison itself is outside of the part of town we call the Nations, which is where one of our other buddies lives right now. The one that moved from Seattle, he lives in the Nations. And I think I was dropping Peyton off at school, and then I was going to meet him in the Nations, and I was passing the prison, and they had a whole bunch of not construction vehicles, but they had a whole bunch of fencing and signage, like construction signage out, and some portable storage units outside of the front. So they're doing something. And I'm wondering, because the penitentiary stuff is getting so big.
Interesting.
I'm wondering if they're going to do one in Nashville and use the actual penitentiary to do it.
Why not use it?
Why not? I mean, that's a great idea for it. I wish we could buy it and turn it into Bell Pack, but that's just me.
What a good idea. Hey, where are you going tonight, honey? Well, I've got a dance class over at the Penn. Yeah. Lisa and I, before we got married 40 years ago, went to Alcatraz and took the tour. Nice. It's a dump. It was back then.
It still is.
Oh my gosh, it was just creepy and
Have you seen the movie? I'm sure you have, but I don't know if you remember it. So I Married an Axe Murderer.
Oh gosh, I don't think I have.
Oh, you need to see that. It's with Mike Myers.
I have so many on my to-do list, but yes, I love Mike Myers.
But also, he's dead now.
Yes.
What's his name? Comedian Phil.
Hartman.
Phil Hartman. He was in it.
He was in. Oh gosh.
And he plays the prison guard at Alcatraz,
Funny.
doing a tour.
Wow.
And I mean, you can just imagine his face and some of his sarcastic and imagine him as a tour guide, prison guard tour guide at Alcatraz. And I bet, I mean, if any of you have seen it, comment and tell us how funny he was.
Need to.
But if you haven't seen it, go see So I Married an Axe Murderer.
I Married an Axe Murderer. Okay. Well, and oddly enough, his wife, I think, killed him. Awesome. Scary. Probably not
his wife. I thought it was a
wife girlfriend.
I thought it was an intruder that came in and did it.
Oh no, I don't think so.
We'll have to look that up.
How? No, we're doing it right now. We're doing it right down.
Now. We got plenty. Do it right. We have plenty of time.
We do not. Some of these people do have things to do.
Well, do we want to stop now and record a part 2?
Gosh, no.
Oh,
you must be joking. We're gonna have to start.
Yeah, we don't have
drinks for.
We don't have enough. Well, I brought mine up. Remember?
Okay, hold on. How did Phil Hartman die? I know you've all been waiting for this. Tragic murder suicide. Well, yeah, but I want to know who it was. Da 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 da.
It was in Miami, wasn't it?
After 2 divorces, he married Bryn, with whom he had 2 children. Marriage was troubled due to Phil's busy work and Bryn's drug and alcohol abuse. 1998, while Phil was sleeping in his bed, Bryn shot and killed him and later killed herself.
Wow.
Ta-da!
But were they married, or was it just, did I miss that part?
After 2 divorces, he married her, yes.
Oh, okay.
In 1987.
Right. Interesting.
So, gosh, I hate to say it, but I was right.
You were right. I'll admit when I'm wrong. I have always said I will admit when I'm wrong. And
it happens a lot, so you must be used to it now.
I admit it a lot. That's true.
You admit it a lot. I'm not wrong, but I admit that I'm wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
That means.
See, you know me way too well. I really do.
It is always fun talking to you, pal. So
likewise, my friend.
Let's let these awesome people go and say thank you for watching and listening. We are very appreciative. And hey, potty time. Go?
Potty time.
It
sounds
fun. Oh, nice. You need to wear PoddiMouths stuff.
I should. I actually gave my last PoddiMouths. So I'm gaining way too much weight, John. And I gave my last PoddiMouths shirt to my wife.
Who is... No, forget it. I know your wife is slim and trim, and you, because she's
I'm a fat ass. I understand.
You are not. You know, can I just say, I am gaining weight just to ensure that you always look smaller.
I appreciate
You're welcome.
That.
You're welcome.
Well, I'm getting most of my weight in my face with this hair.
Oh, good. Yeah, that's where mine is too, in my face.
Yes, sir. Well, you know,
I tighten my belt and I go, boy, my face sure is fat. No, it's not there.
We'll have to talk about why. Because in the next episode, well, that's our cliffhanger for this one, folks. We're going to talk about why we're fat in the next episode.
I'm sure you're going to log in for sure next time. That'll be awesome. Yeah.
I'm going to go have some chicken nuggets. What are you going to have tonight?
Do it. I think I'm going to do some leftovers because we had some good ones. I made a deli, a tuna melt.
Ooh.
Learned how to do it on YouTube, and I tell you what, it turned out pretty darn good.
Did it? Well, I made a panini for lunch today.
Oh, okay.
So we don't have a panini press, but we have a George Foreman. And I actually pulled it out yesterday because we don't use it very often. I mean, we maybe use it once every 2 years.
You should make bacon with it. Put it on the bottom of your bed in the mornings. Office episode.
That's weird.
You're going to thank me.
I'll have to.
Yeah.
Which office?
Michael
British
Scott.
Or, okay.
No.
Well, no, they're both Michael Scott, aren't they?
That's a good question. I'm not sure. It was the U.S. one. Michael Scott used to awaken to the smell of bacon.
I love it.
It was the George Foreman grill.
Nice. Anyway, so we had it out because I made some chicken last night because I don't know why I had a bug in my ear to do it. So I just did it. But then today it was still sitting out and I had already cleaned everything. So I'm like, you know what? I'm making a panini.
How was it?
And it was fantastic.
What was inside?
It was rotisserie chicken.
Yeah.
Some hot salami.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The maple kind?
The maple kind. Some hot salami, some cheese, and a little Parmesan and some mustard.
Nice.
That was it.
Brown mustard?
It was fantastic. It was brown mustard, yes.
Nicely done.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you.
I just wish I had some pickles. It could have been like a weird Cuban.
Yes,
it would have been a cubic
Cuban
instead
sandwich.
of a Cuban.
You're killing me.
Yeah,
On that
not
note.
yet. Yeah. Have a great week, everybody. Check out PoddiMouths.com. Check out all of our socials. There's nothing up there, so you're not going to miss anything.
Yeah, but go to the
comment because then we can actually
go to the merch store.
Go to the merch store. Actually, buy something at the merch store. That would be really helpful.
Buy everything.
Very helpful. If you did that and we get plenty of people to do that and we got plenty of listeners, John and I could quit our day jobs and actually do this full time and entertain you every day rather than just once a week.
Have to be an awful lot of stuff that you'd buy.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Hey, I'm just a guy can dream.
Oh, for sure.
A guy can dream. A guy could hope.
A dry could hope.
A dry could hope.
All right.
Was the liquor was 90 proof. Okay, I didn't know that until just now, and it was a double.
Still is.
It will be in a minute. All right, everyone. Have a great day. We'll see you soon.
See you.